Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video I'm going to be playing through a brand new game I just got in, which is Vengence Roll and Fight. This is a 2-episode game, so if you have both of them, you can actually combine them to make it into a larger game where you can play up to 8 players. Or you can, each of these boxes comes with all of those things you need to play 1 to 4 players. And that will take you roughly a half an hour to an hour to play, and is a competitive game where each of you is going to be fighting your way through your own den, trying to get as many points as you can, and hopefully meet your story and your vengeance. For those of you that have followed my channel for a while, you also know that this is based on, and the IP itself has another game, which is a miniatures-based game where you're going to be doing a similar thing with your character moving through and beating up enemies and all that, but this brings it to the table in a different way with a roll and write situation. So let me know what you think on these. I have covered a couple of these on the channel, and there's been a large number of these this year. There was quite a few at Gen Con, and I've seen an uptick in the number of games that people are doing with the roll and write kind of mechanics. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. Are you a big fan of this? Why or why not? I'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. And as always, if you find my videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button and subscribe to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow and be able to produce this content. If you want to get notifications anytime I drop new videos, also give that notification bell a ring, and that'll let you know when any new videos come out. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see how this one plays. So moving into the game, there's a couple of additional things that I have to take care of during setup. So with my character, he does have a ability that's going to be active, and with Reverend Gray, he is going to be limited to a max of 2 charges per each item. That's why I have one of the last spot in each one of these blocked out, so that I can keep track of the fact that I can only use each item twice. Then I also have to take care of our boss, or our big bad guy here. So with his thing, during setup, I'm going to choose 2 rooms with a den objective and draw an additional one of these guys in there. So I've already handled that. I've added another one to there and another one to there because I have to choose rooms that have the den objectives in them. So I only have 4 different choices, and so I chose those 2 rooms and just put a multiplier in there for those. From there, then I'm ready to move into the game. So each round is going to have 4 phases that are going to be done in order. The first phase in each round is the flashback phase. And during this phase, I'm going to roll the white flashback dice and then carry out the actions on each one of those dice if I'm able to or if I want to. And then I also get a bonus action of my choice. So let's go ahead and handle this. And all right, so I have a couple of different choices here. And so I can either gain 2 training points or an item with each one of these basically, except for the last one. So the last one, I get an item right off the bat. So I'm going to go ahead and take a cane. So I simply fill in the outer perimeter on that, signifying that I have that. So that'll handle that one. And then with these 2, I can either do another item if I want to, or I can gain 2 training points. So I think I'm going to gain 2 training points with each one of those. And I can choose to spend those at any point during this step to purchase an item as well. And what do I want? Might want to go after an item. So I think I'm going to do the Wrath of God. Well, or do I want the shot one? I think I'm going to take the shot one. So this isn't necessarily going to be super helpful right now, as it's going to let me shoot for each wound mark on my health track. But if I take a number of wounds, that could be really beneficial. So I think I will do that. And then as my last free action, and that's going to cost me 4 action or 4 training points. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross out those 4 I just picked up. And then as last action, I'm going to go ahead and gain a health. And you can either take or regain 2 health points, or now that I'm at max, I can also take a new health. So now I have 4 hit points instead of just the 3. So that will finish that off. And then I'm going to move into the second phase, which is the rolling phase. So during this phase, and for solo games, you're going to choose a number of different difficulty levels. First off, you're going to choose the number of dice you're going to use based on the difficulty, and I've chosen medium, so I'm going to be using at the max 16 dice. And then you're also going to choose the difficulty for your game, so I'm also choosing medium for that. So I need a minimum of 23 points in order to be victorious in this game. And then the final thing is choosing the difficulty for the time, and the timer for this is going to be either 45 seconds, 30 seconds, or 25 seconds. So I'm going to go with 45, as I want to be able to show you how all this works without having to rush too terribly much. And so that will be that part. So then during my turn, or during this rolling step, I'm going to roll 4 dice at a time. And with these dice, I can roll these as many times as I want to, as fast as I want to, placing some of them off to the side and continuing rolling other ones. The one exception is with the teardrop, or the wound dice. If I have one of those come up, I have to keep it, and it basically locks that die out of place. Now, if I get multiple wounds, or if I get a wound, I can also place it over here to take a damage, and then I will get a die back. And anytime I spend dice for abilities as well, I will get back dice up to my maximum of 4 dice. So that's going to be how I will be able to generate and use more dice throughout this particular round. All right, so let's go ahead and move into it and start our timer. So I have 45 seconds to pull this off and try to get as many of these different actions as I possibly can. Here we go. All right, so I got 3 daggers. I'll go ahead and take that. And I'll go ahead and keep the gun for now. There's 2 guns and a dagger, so I'll lock that in there. Keep it going. I got a movement and a thing. I want a movement here. And I got another one, so I got to lock that. I need a movement. There's one, so there's that. I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 here to get those back. And there's some more, so I'll go ahead and take that. And this one's locked. And 3 more locked. 4 more locked. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And hopefully get something else here. There's 2 and the wound to finish that off. And that is all the time that I have. So I've taken 2 wounds so far, but that is going to help with that. All right. So that will finish off my roll phase. I was pretty successful with that. And so from there, then we're going to move into the 3rd phase in the round, which is the fight phase. So during this phase, now I'm going to spend these different actions that I have to carry out those abilities. So each one that I have locked up here, so right now I can move once, I can punch twice, I can shoot once, and then I can also carry out my holy aim 1 time, as this one is a 1 only. I can only do that once, so there wouldn't have been any point in locking additional ones up there. And then I can also use any items that I have at this point. So I could move an extra time if I wanted to. So the first thing I definitely need to do is move. So I'm going to go ahead and move into this room here. And then, well, or I could shoot first. No, I think I'm going to move. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and do a punch action. This lets me hit, and I get a bonus hit if any of those, any of the things that I used was a double blade. So I did do that for that one. So that'll let me take out 2 enemies. And then because I also moved into this room, then I also count the room as that I had been in there. Now, once a room is cleared, if it also has a star, then I will mark that star as being cleared. I have to be in a room and also clear it in order to be able to get that point. So from there, then I have a couple of other options at this point. I'm out of movement unless I spend my cane to move. But I do have a couple of shots that I could do as well. I do have an enemy here that can hit me from the room that I'm in. So I definitely want to handle him. And then, let's see here. Or I could move into that room. I have enough. I could clear it with my shots. Or I could save 1 to take out that guy. I think that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and spend the cane. That will allow me to move 1 additional time. And, well, before I do that, I jumped ahead again. I'm going to go ahead and use my holy aim to take 2 shots, as I've gotten 2 wounds. And that will take out this guy, as he has 2 hit points. And I don't meet this objective yet. I have to hit the boss in order to carry out that objective. So now I'm going to move. Then I will go ahead and use my punch, my second punch, to take this guy out. So So now I've been in the room and I've also cleared it. So I'm just going to put a dot in there to signify that so you can see that. Otherwise, if I fill it in, you're not going to be able to see it. And then the next step, when I cross it out, you won't really know that I've done that. So then my last thing, I do have a shoot action still. So I'm going to go ahead and use that at this time. And I'm going to take this guy out as well, as he does have a ranged attack that he could hit me with. So I don't want to take damage from that. So I'm going to go ahead and clear that out. All right. That will be all of my actions at this point. So I'm just going to go ahead and add these all back over here. And then these get removed as well, and I cross those out as I've taken 2 hits. Okay. And then the final phase in the round is the resolution phase. So that's where I'm going to handle a lot of this stuff. Any these I get, I can cross them out to use them. So I can either use them for loot and crossing out that, starting to get, hopefully getting some points at some point here. Or I can also use them as an additional ability where I can use them for one of the things like I did with the flashback. So I'm going to go ahead and use it as loot because this is a lot of points if I can get that. So that would be helpful, and I'm definitely going to want to make my way into that room at some point as well. And I also will mark out the first round as we've completed that at this point. At this point, if I had evaded any enemies, I would also clear their markers so that they would be active for the next round. As when I evade an enemy, I basically disable them for the rest of this round, and so they couldn't do anything. But other than that, I don't have any of that, and I've taken care of the 1 loot that I had. So I think that's it. And we're ready to move into round 2 with the flashback phase. So let's go ahead and handle this. All right, so this time I got a couple more loot and a spy ability. So with the loot, again, I get to choose to use them either as that or the other. So I'm going to go ahead and use another one for that. And then for my second one, I'm going to go ahead and use it as a ability. And I think I'm going to go ahead and gain a item here. I'm going to gain the whip. Then, so that takes care of those 2. And then I do have that, which lets me choose one of these that has that symbol and mark it so that I can use it in a later round, or in this round. I can only use it this round. With the last 2 here, I have to have a pair in order to do that. So I do have an additional one I could use. So I could use it for that and use it for one of those, but I think at this point, I think I'm just going to take a shoot action. So I'll have a free shoot action for that. And then I do get a additional action of my choice. And I think I'm going to heal 2 wounds. So I don't want to have a bunch of wounds on me. All right. So that will take care of that phase. I don't have any training points to spend for any new abilities at this point. I have my whip. I don't have any movements at this point. So I think that is everything. And we're ready to move into the next phase for rolling. So let me reset that up. And we're ready to go. Definitely going to need some moves, or charges would be great as well. So let's see what I can get here. All right. Ooh, 2 already. I got 2 there. If I get some, oh, there's 2. I get 2 back. I got another one, so I'm going to go ahead and lock 1 in to regain that and re-roll these. All right, I got a, all right, what do I want to do here? So I better just roll those and get another one. There we go. That's a hit, and that's a crack. I got 2. I got 1. I got a move or a gun. That's locked, so I can't do that. So I got to roll these over again. I got another set of daggers, so let's do that. There's 2 more. Let's go ahead and roll these. Oh no, I did terrible. So at this point, this is all I have left to work with. So I can keep rolling and hope that I get something else here. So what else could I potentially use at this point? I've already taken 2 hits. So I got to be careful on how much I do. I have a lot of close combat right now. I could go for a shot. Or I could go for that, which I could potentially do as well. So I think I'll do that at this point. I need one more bullet. Alright, so I could take one more and re-roll this one and hope for the bullets. There it is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and lock those in. So at least that gives me a little bit more. And now that I've gotten 3, I'm super close. I only can take one more hit. But we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so from there, then we move into my action phase. So I'm going to go ahead and move in for that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and spend this one, lets me do 2 hits. And that will do that and that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the whip. This one lets me shoot and then shoot the boss. So I'm going to hit him for 1. So I do 1 damage to him, and I also hit an enemy. So the question is, I think I will hit this guy here. And that makes my 3rd grunt. I need 4 grunts to be able to finish that off. I've cleared that room and I also entered it. So at this point, I get that. And I basically have 1 more punch, which I think at this point is going to be wasted. Yeah, because I don't have anything else to do and I cannot move at this point. But I do have 2 shots remaining. Or 3 shots, basically. So that could be good. So I definitely want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use 1 there. And then I got 2 more. I could put 2 more shots on the boss. I think that's what I'll do. So he's down 3 hit points already. All right, and that'll clear that. And then basically just the attack, the melee attack is going to be wasted at this point. So I'll go ahead and clear that. And then I also have to clear these and mark all of those out. So I've taken 3. Got 1 hit point remaining. All right, we'll see what happens with that. All right, now I've been in 3 rooms so far. This one requires me to be in 6 different rooms. So I've got a little ways to go with that. I can spend that loot to take care of that one. And that is the end of the 2nd round, basically, as there's nothing else I have to handle at this point. So moving into the 3rd round now. 3rd round, I'm going to go ahead and start by rolling my flashback dice. All right, so I got 2 health and 1 of those. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one as the item. I'm going to gain the 2nd whip. That's been pretty handy. And then the health, I'm going to definitely use 1 for that. And then this one, I'll go ahead and gain another one. And then my last one I get to choose. Be nice to have more training points. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. So, oh, and I didn't use the shot from that either, so I can take out 1 more guy with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop him. Yeah, forgot to use that. Otherwise, I would have lost it. I think I will just do that one. All right, so that takes care of all that, and then we're back into the rolling phase again. All right, so hopefully we'll do a little bit better than we did last time here. And let's see what I'm looking for. some shooting would be good. So I need some of those. A charge would be good. If I get a charge and a punch to get in here and handle those guys. And then I need a lot of stuff to handle these guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 main guys and then one guy with 2 health. So I need 6 points of damage there. So I got some work cut out for me on that one. So we'll see what I can do here. All right, this is the 3rd round. Let's go ahead and start us up. All right, so I got a wound and a pistol. If I get another pistol here, there we go. I'll go ahead and lock those in. That way I get my things back. There's a couple of those and a pistol and a move. That'll take care of that. That gets me the charge. And there's 2. I need another dagger. Up, that's not good. And I'll take that. So that'll get me that one. I'll leave that there. Now I'm going to lock that in. So I get all these back. There's another move action. And I'll go ahead and... no. So I'll try to get another... There we go. I'll get another move out of it. All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and take that. Screwed that up again. Cancel. There we go. Okay. So I've got some decent stuff. I didn't get any shoot actions. So that's not too good. But I've got a lot of melee stuff, so this could work out in my favor. All right, so to start off with, I'm going to go ahead and use the whip item again. This lets me shoot and then shoot the boss. So I'm going to do 1 on him, and then the boss will take another damage. And I could just go up there and finish him off at this point. I got a couple of moves, so it might be worth doing that. I will get this, because I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to go ahead and circle that. I'm just going to go ahead and mark that in as my den objective. So I got 4 points with that one. And then, let's see here. Got 2 there. I could just go in and finish the boss off at this point. I'm not too far away from that. I've taken 3, so this is worth 3 shots. So I could move in and move back out and move in there. I have enough movement to get me to there. I got 2 shooters though. I have no ranged attack, so I might have to leave the boss as is. Or I just go in there and handle him and circle back around. Could do that as well. So, well, I do have the charge as well. So that could work. That lets me move in and attack. I think I will do that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the charge. That lets me move in and attack. So that will let me finish this guy off here. Then I'm going to use my punch action. That lets me do 2 more damage to the boss. So now he has been eliminated, which is going to get me 5 points for that and 6 points for that. So the boss has gotten me a good amount of points. And that also clears that room. So then I'm going to move back out. And then if I move in there, I can't move out right now. I can shoot. I can almost clear that room. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is just simply take my shots. That takes out these 2 guys, and that'll clear this guy. And I will just waste the 1 movement, because if I move in here, then both of these guys are going to be able to shoot me, and that would finish me off. So I don't want to do that. And I don't have any other means of handling them at this point. So I think I'm going to hold off there and simply just waste that extra movement. And I won't get any additional loot this turn. And I've been into 1, 2, 3, 4 rooms so far. So I need to be in at least 2 more rooms in order to get those points there. But depending upon how well I do next turn, I could potentially take this guy out and then clear this room out. Move in there, get those points. That would be pretty good. Well, that is the plan anyways. So that will take out those. I'm going to finish that. All right, and then these will all be moved back over. All right. And we're ready to move into round 3, or round 4. This is it. I've used all my whips at this point, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip that over. And I've got all my canes, so at this point, if I get one, I'm not sure what I would use. All right, so let's go ahead and roll and find out what I get. All right, so I got a health, enter that, and another one of those. Okay. So the health, question is, do I clear? Yes, I clear. I will clear. I will risk it for that. And then this one, I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 from this one. As far as items are concerned, all right, and then as far as this one's concerned, there really isn't a great option here, so I guess I will take that. And then my free one, at this point, the training is probably my next best one here. And then I can buy a training. So what to do? Let's see. So this one lets me hit can only be used to hit the last active enemy in the current room. Nah. Hit for each wound marked on your health track. So Wrath of God would also be good, especially if I take a couple more hits this turn, which is likely. Path Through Hell lets me hit twice and shoot twice. That would also be really good, but that's a hard one to pull because I need all 4 dice on that one. And this one I can suffer a wound to deal 2 hits. That also might be potentially good. And that one would kind of let me boost that one up too. So that's a tough choice. It's either Wrath of God or Berserk. Either one's a single use only. What to do? Let's me do 2 hits, or I think I will do Wrath of God. I think that one might give me a little bit more potential for stuff. And that's pretty much all I can do at this point. So that will finish off that step, and we're ready to move into our final roll phase. So let's see what we can do here. All right, so at this point, my goal, I need to move. I basically need to move, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to go into here for 5 and 6. So I have to get back to here to get the points for this. So the question is, can I pull that off? So I would need 1, 2, 3 movement, or just 2 movement since I have the cane. I would need 2 of these, or if I can get a charge, that'll let me get one of those as well. And then other than that, I just need a lot of attacks. I need both of these as well as long as I get some wounds on me, which so far has not been a problem. So we'll see if that will be the case. All right, let's do this. All right, so there's the first wound and 2 pistols, so that'll take care of that one. I get that's a dude back, and let's go ahead and roll. I'm going to go ahead and take a movement, and I get 2 more dice back, and there's another knife and a dagger. So let's go ahead and roll these over again. There's the 2 daggers. I'm going to go ahead and lock that in to get 3 dice back. And there's 2 more. I'll take another wound to be able to roll this and that over. There's those 2. That'll take care of that. I get these. There's a shot and a dude and a knife. And that is pretty much all I can do. And that's it. All right, so okay. I can keep rolling if I want to. At this point, I'm gonna need some more stuff. So the charge is out of the question. I do need another move. So let's see if I can pull that off. There's another move. So that gets me the 3 moves that I need. And there's pretty much nothing else I can do. But I could take that wound and just try to hold on. That would really give me a lot of hitting power. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'll go ahead and take that wound. All right, so ready to move into the final step here. So I need to take that guy out. Otherwise I won't be able to move on. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and move in there first. Lets me go in. That will signify that I've moved into the room. And then I'm just going to go ahead and use the punch action to hit him. And I'll just waste the second one as I don't have anything else to really do it with at this point. I'm going to go ahead and use the cane to let me move. That'll let me go into here. Whoop, not yet. Not yet. I'm jumping ahead of myself. I want to use my holy aim first. That is going to let me do a shot for each wound marked on your health track. Now I've gotten 4 hits. So I'm going to go ahead and take 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to get 4 more, actually. So it's 2, 3. I'll go ahead and leave him. So I'm going to do 2 there. And I'll do 1 here. And I'll take out 1 of those guys there. That way then, at least that's something. All right, so that will take care of the holy aim. Now I'm going to move in there. Now I will use the Wrath of God. That lets me do a wound per, or a hit per wound that I have. So that's 2 more, 3, and 4. So that clears that room. That'll get me my 3 stars there. And then I will use my last movement point to move back here. And now that I'm in here and I've accomplished this, as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rooms cleared, I will get that as well. And that's going to get me 3 points on the den objectives. So I think that pretty much does it for that. So that will end that phase. So we'll move into the final step here, spending my loot. So I'm just going to go ahead and cross all that off. That way I get 11 points for loot. And I'll gather up any other points that I get. So I already calculated for my boss, my objectives. I did not get this one, and I did not get that one. I would have needed to move back into that room to get the points because I hit the boss. So that's it for that. For training, I didn't get enough training to get any points there. I already took care of my loot. For the escape, I count, the escape is -1 point for each room with an enemy, including your current room, along your escape path from your current room back to the den entrance. You draw an escape path any way you like, and you are not obligated to use the path created by your visited rooms. So I can simply go back through here, and there are no enemies on any of those pathways into any of those rooms. So I don't get any negative points for that. And then I'm going to total everything up. So I have 11 there, plus another 11 for 22. And this is going to be 25. And then 4 is going to put me up to 29. So 29 points. And my goal was 23. The hard difficulty on this is 28 points. So the time definitely helped. That was a big factor there. If I would have been down to 30 seconds, I would have probably not come anywhere near this. I probably would have definitely failed on that one. So that makes a big difference as well. And so I definitely got lucky, or chose wisely with that, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have got the job done. But that is the game. Well, I hope you found the video helpful. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please post those in the comments section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And let me know if you want to see anything else around this one, or if you have picked this one up and what your thoughts are on it. I had a good time with it, and it's a good solo game. It'd be interesting to see some of the changes, obviously, with the multiplayer, as everybody's going to be kind of pulling from that central pool. So players that are a little bit faster might end up with more dice, but I haven't had a chance to try that one out yet, so I'm going to have to see about setting that up as well. But let me know if you want to see something like this, or if you'd like me to do a live stream, maybe with my friends, where we do a playthrough of this one or whatnot. Let me know your thoughts, and until next time, I'll see you later.